but when you're consistently wrong...
They gave... Oh, now that is heresy. How's it going, people? Jack here with another video. So amongst the many channels that have been recommended to check out, I will today watch something from VideoGameDunkey, whose clips I've seen here and there on the internet. Not full-length videos though. I think most of it was put on Reddit. I think he's very characteristic in that he is like the reverse Corpse. You know, if like Corpse's voice is like that buttery smooth one that makes you want to question your sexuality. Dunkey is like the opposite, but he seems pretty funny. But this one is on Game Critics. Given that I luckily have been given opportunities to like check some games before they release or even test them, I guess that I have had a little bit of a taste of what it feels like to have to review a game for a company, for example, before it gets released, and it kind of adds something to it, right? For some time it does have a sway on the people, like the thing that you put out, the criticism that you say about a certain product, and even how your relationship with the company may be affected by it. Like, were you to be working under the supervision of some higher company, like for example Machinima back in the days, or are your review scores even ever consistent, like IGN, God save us all? And how about if you are being sponsored by the people, right? How is it going to affect your bottom line, what you're saying? Are you actually going to be critical as you should be, like most gaming YouTubers tend to be? It's a hard spot to be in, to be completely fair. So hopefully this one's going to give us a little bit of insight into that world. Let's jump into it.
Game critics fucking suck, right guys?
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, that's IGN.
YouTube Comments agrees with me, and we already know that
And
YouTube
GameSpot.
Comments is the premier location for intellectual gaming critiques, harboring only the most cutting-edge scholars.
Yes, it does require that you own a PhD or a doctorate even, just so you can make the bold claim of, if a leg of assholes sucks dicks, you are gay.
Such as middle schooler Connor. But what separates this guy from this guy? Well, this guy gets paid to say stupid shit. The first issue I have with gaming outlets is how their opinions are so decentralized. When you have multiple writers working on a website, you can lose track of who's actually talking.
Breathe easy, Sonic fans. Sega got this one right.
Sonic the Hedgehog 4, I think, was pretty mediocre.
Sonic is good again.
Sonic was never good.
Numerous fun titles.
Sonic was never good.
It keeps on shifting.
Levels are great.
There are no good Sonic the Hedgehog games.
A big question that I tend to have for the kind of things is, don't they have like a message that gets sent out to all the employees? Oh, no, even better. Do they watch their reviews, their own videos? And I know in the past of YouTube, like it used to be like a weird stigma, like, do you watch your own content? You should, to make sure that the stuff that you're saying are consistent.
Super true.
Super detailed backgrounds and excellent animation.
There are no good Sonic the Hedgehog games.
Fantastic level design.
Just like reading the comment section.
Yeah.
Just this year alone, IGN has featured over 37 different reviewers. When you see a video from Pro Jared or Total Biscuit or any
RIP. Yeah, 2017. Nearly forgot. Rest in peace, man.
Angry Joe, you know exactly whose point of view it's coming from. Now pick a review from IGN, you have just entered the fucking lottery. It's important to build an understanding between the critic and
oldest YouTuber.
Every review you do should feel like an extension of the last until your audience understands what kind of games you respond to. It's also important to acknowledge your shortcomings as a reviewer.
Yeah.
Mine personally is that I have no fucking patience at all. Pretty much throw any RPG at me, I'm just gonna say, nah, that's boring. But you know what's dumber
What about
than
RTSs?
Anime. Unless we're talking this guy, you need to get this bullshit out of me.
I do you one better. Turn-based combat games.
Abandon reason!
Jesus. Turn-based Japanese combat games.
So you have chosen death.
A quick little thing, right? I got introduced to Final Fantasy when I was very young by one of my cousins. He came to me at our place, staying for a weekend, and was like, boy, yes, my cousin was Kratos, a black man. No, seriously. He was like, yeah, you gotta try this thing here. It has an amazing story. He showed me the Advent Children movie even, and I was like wow, this is crazy. Like, you know how like we used to compare Final Fantasy The Spirit Within as being like the most advanced thing ever? Like, it looks so beautiful and felt realistic to me at the time. So I jumped into it and I saw the game. And I reacted in the most British way ever, like, what's going on here? It was so ugly, it took so long time to play through it, but I kind of got through it like later on in years with games like Pillar of Eternity, Divinity and stuff like that. Even Warhammer 40k nowadays, which just takes too freaking long to play through. All the games, man. Except, of course, for Space Marines. But why do they have to take so long in the turns? Like, I understand his frustration, but you need to find the good ones that can make the time worth it.
But you know what I hate much more than anime? Turn-based combat. For real,
yes.
I despise this shit. There's like 2 games that figured out how to make it fun.
Oh, Undertale. I've never finished it.
Fucking boring, tedious, and draining. It is the opposite of fun. So when I say Persona 5, a turn-based anime RPG is actually pretty fun, you should go, damn. Okay, maybe that game is alright. Probably
didn't think of that.
Dumbest, most frequent comments I see is, yeah, I stopped listening to this guy after he said Bubsy 3D sucked. Listen, fucko, you don't have to see eye to eye on every single game to put your
no, you
trust in
don't.
someone. Obviously, a critic's power lies in the consistency of their voice. But when you're consistently wrong,
they gave. Oh, now that is heresy. They gave God Hand a 3 and Holy Baby 7.5. Like that again, it shows you that those numbers, they don't mean jack.
This is one of the least exciting platformers I've played in some time.
This is a Call of Duty game,
refreshingly original.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
That is when you become Armand White.
Who?
This dude is the ultimate contrarian. Both of his parents were white. His name is Armand White. So he said, nah, fuck you, I'm black.
You're in the Uncle Ruckus soundtrack. The Revitiligo right here. I smell some powerful niggatry going on. Dude. Okay.
According to Armand White, everything that is good is bad, and everything that is bad is good. Does
Norbit?
this make him useless as a critic? Not at all. When Armand White tells you that Man of Steel is the godfather of superhero films,
Man of Steel wasn't that bad.
His movie of the year, then you as a viewer understand. Okay, so this is the worst movie yet created.
I disagree.
Transcend even Armand White though, and then you have a movie like Suicide Squad. That's
okay, that's trash.
A piece of fucking shit. Even this guy who likes fucking video game movies, when even he doesn't like it, that's when you have fucked up. At least he stands out. So many of these reviews read exactly the same. Makes you feel eerily like Batman. The player really feel like Batman. Could not look or
as
feel
in
normal.
what else should it be?
Like we feel like Batman. IGN, what did you think?
Arkham Asylum makes you feel like you're Batman.
My reviews certainly aren't perfect, but at least I'm trying out here. Even after I put my stuff up, I'm still in the comments taking the discussion even further. Now, let's look at IGN's review of Super Metroid. In Metroid, you play as Metroid is a bounty hunter that shoots a dinosaur in outer space with his missile 9.5. What the fuck was the point of this?
That was
I can find
useless.
all this shit on the back of the box, except there, it would probably sound exciting though.
I think that nowadays, a lot of the reviews, like for example, I watching reviews from like Seth, Maxor, and some others, we are yearning a bit more than just these numbers, right? They aren't representative for much. Look, like these facts right here can be nice. And you can also get that if you, for example, go into an in-depth video. But like something that is representative for like 5 minutes, I don't get anything from that. Take an example in a YouTube channel called ACG. They do like walk in a walk type of game deconstruction where they tell you exactly what the composition of some of the stuff are, what techniques have been used to make the world a lot more immersive. It's pretty great, but in the reviews they tell you as a final score, for example, is this worth picking up at day 1 or should you wait for sales and stuff like that? Because that is a lot more representative of what you're getting for your bucks, right? How many hours of entertainment do you get per dollar? We want to know if we're able to relate to the feelings that other players are going to have while playing this, but we kind of need to do that in that slight bit of a more interesting way than just, hey, yeah, look at this, on the scale of 1 to 10, the graphics are good, sounds is nice, the gameplay as well. Like, it's useless.
Real content in this review was the number at the end of it, which is usually restricted to a 7, 8, or a 9, all of which implied the game is good. Even something as disastrous
Andromeda.
as Mass Effect Andromeda will still get away with a 7 out of 10. I play a lot of games.
Okay.
Scale, most of
Metal
shit
Slug.
fucking sucks, man. Honestly. Even going back through the years, I find that only a few select games really hold up today. So when I do give a game a 3 out of 5, I'm saying, okay, this is a quality game. This is something worth your time that actually held my interest to the end credits. I feel like a lot of critics are too afraid to say something real, and I think there's a lot of factors that influence this. Gaming outlets and even YouTubers now have relationships and contacts with these companies so they can get interviews, early copies, early coverage. This doesn't mean they're paid off, but maybe they won't criticize stuff as harshly as they should.
Quick example, again, from another YouTuber that I react to from time to time, the Russian Badger, for example. Now, he is in a very unique position, and that, I think, of course, is not like the standard, but it should be something that at least the bigger outlets should strive for, like getting that kind of sponsorship that allows you to have a lot more liberty in what you want to say about a game. Like, for example, he constantly talked about how much he trash talked the stuff that he gets sponsored for. Or at least maybe not directly from the game, but whatever else sponsorship that he gets to trash talk on a game, right?
Spider-Man, how did you even get? Just tell him you like money. You make money if they buy it, right? Of course I make money if they buy it. You think I wouldn't monetize this? I'm more capitalist than Mr. Crap. Then tell them it's about money. It's not a big deal. Look. Hey everybody, this guy likes making money.
Because that allows him to have all that creative freedom and say exactly what he means. Now, an example of where some may take that in the wrong way would be in his review of Battlefield 2042. For I remember there that a lot of comments said that because he and his friend can make pretty much anything look fun, it wasn't representative to what the stage of the game was truly like. But I think that he did a very good job at showcasing all of that. So yeah, sponsorship and then of course having to churn out things as quickly as possible become detrimental for your criticism.
They're part of a circle, and
sometimes
websites are funded in large by advertising game developers, which fuels these really lame trends. Mainstream critics are pretty much restricted to only play the latest releases, so their standards are defined by what's been done recently. And then you have this fucking shitty rat race to be the first review on Metacritic so that your dumbass website can get more traffic, and the end result is a column of weak-ass first impressions.
Right now, the music comes out like this. Right. People are writing a review and
and that's exactly what it is. First impressions.
An album and rate it in the day. It's just impossible.
The best reviews are entirely subjective.
But then again, you have to think about the devs, right? And the nature of the game that they make. I talked a long time ago about Assassin's Creed Odyssey and how that game is structured. And pretty much, let's say, most of the reboot after Origins, right, haven't been well. The thing is that you shouldn't, in the words of YouTuber Josh Drive Hayes, right, have to spend 100 hours to find a game fun, not even having to, they'll say, complete it if you just go through a straight path. But you can't do that with Odyssey, for you have to go through the entire thing, all these bloody islands, and oh man, it gets so frustrating before you get to the end game. And that shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be a chore. Like all of the side stuff, right? It should be side content that you can go to at your leisure. That's why a game like Elden Ring is so goddamn popular, because you get to choose exactly how difficult you want to make the game be, right? It kind of breaks the mold of how the From Software machine has been for so many years, which I will say is also contributing to how popular the game has become. But what often will happen is that when they are going into this rat race, as he points out here, they don't end up completing the game at all. What they give you is like something that they've played perhaps halfway. Like if you are generous, let's say if you have to complete it for like 100 hours to complete the entire game, they play maybe 50 and tell you their opinion on it as final statement. And that shouldn't be, or at least it should very, very much clarify it at the beginning of everything.
But that doesn't mean you throw objectivity out the window. You have to build your case with honest statements that even someone who disagrees with you could relate to. Recently, GameSpot gave the new Crash Remaster a 6 out of 10, citing some abrupt difficulty spikes. But if you know GameSpot, you know these guys aren't exactly capable when it comes to platformers.
New Super Mario Bros. Wii is a tough game. Old school tough. This will test even the most seasoned platforming veterans. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is by far the most challenging game. The game's high difficulty may initially scare off new players,
but what is he on?
In my opinion, more valid than this guy's. Well, first off, I actually completed the fucking game. This dude got halfway through the game and put his review up. What the fuck?
See?
It's funny
exactly.
I think he's absolutely right. Crash Bandicoot is a little rough on the controls and camera, but it's completely doable until this fucking piece of shit dumb motherfucker turtle. Who is responsible for this fucking abomination?
And by the way, can we just comment on how much Crash is getting abused in this game?
This has got to be one of the single worst levels I've ever seen in a video game.
The game can feel really old.
Depth perception is an issue.
Stiff driving controls.
Physics just don't always work.
Piece of shit turtle.
Hit detection in general can be a little weird.
It's not quite as precise as it should be.
When Reggie was developing Mario 64, he discovered
what's wrong with you?
Jumps requiring pinpoint precision just did not fly in a 3D space. Naughty Dog, however, said, "Fuck that shit, jump on this shit."
Oh yeah, the extra pixels.
Except it won't even bounce you far enough to get over the fucking piece of shit bridge. There's certainly a steeper than usual learning curve, and the series has always been more impressive in my opinion on the visual end. Crash looking at the boulder chasing him, water shimmering down a waterfall, an ancient temple illuminated by sunlight. When you lose, Crash doesn't just disappear, he fucking gets incinerated.
Yeah.
He gets crushed by a big ass boulder and destroyed. Pig knocks him off, breaks his spine. Boom! Just turns into a little pancake.
Crash Bandicoot by Square Enix. So, you've seen the Lara Croft remake, haven't you, Crash? Looks at the guy. Fuck.
Falls in the water, freezes to death. He gets fucking killed in this game, man. When you finally conquer that ridiculous level, Crash says it all for you. He just goes, great job.
Yeah, and then you get pummeled by those boxes.
9, 10, 11, 21, 22, 23, 24, 57, 58,
you just missed all the boxes.
96, 97, 98.
Come on.
Hey man, other than that, you did a good job. The presentation is top notch, and critics have most definitely taken notice. But what's more important to a game like this? How it feels or how it looks? Which leads into my final
how it feels.
Focus. Remember when this video was about game critics? That's because I lost focus. Immediacy, atmosphere, variety, replayability. This is what I value in a game. If the music sucks, if the levels are uninspired, if there's constant downtime, the game is not fun.
If it's not fun, why bother?
And that's why it is so much cherished when it is that we see YouTubers who will put out a review of a game that spend months and months working on that very review. I mean, they deserve so much more of what it is that whatever IGN or GameStop is, GameSpot. We gotta break down Wall Street. No, the GameSpot is getting in revenue because yeah, they put the effort in it.
I see a lot of reviews where the language doesn't really align with the final verdict.
The new Super Mario Bros. Series has often felt like a watered-down, more casual attempt. It's just a shame it doesn't push the system's visual or audio capabilities. Bit of a disappointment. Numbing, generic, bubbly music. Playing with friends is still a bit of a chaotic mess. By the time Mario U really starts to do interesting things, it's over.
Damn, he fucking hates
it. He hates it. Come on, IGN.
What the fuck?
It has a little something for everyone.
Okay, that was a good video.